We go right back to Kathy, and we're going to talk about apprenticeships. And you go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, you guys get me again, just for a short 10 minutes or so. And the great thing about this is that you are going to hear from somebody, an employer, or I'm not sure who, but somebody on the agenda who has apprenticeship, registered apprenticeship, and so they will be the experts. I'm going to give you kind of the nuts and bolts of the apprenticeship, but of course, as I said, I like to go off script. Before I do that, I wanted to thank our two speakers that everything, just exactly remember everything they said, because it was so great. And again, I want to encourage you, if this isn't your school district, reach out to your school if you haven't, and keep reaching out. And then on the other hand, I want to thank the employers who have already engaged. And I want to say yay for your No Boundaries program, because I'm so excited to hear that, because I was actually in Charles City with Ryan from Okoboji. Is he? Yes. So when he went to visit Iowa Big North, and look at that, it was like a little over a year ago. You did that fast. It's really good. So that's so exciting and such a great opportunity for students. So I had to, of course, say all of that first. So registered apprenticeship, again, you'll hear from an employer, but really want you to consider this if it's not something you're doing. I love registered apprenticeship because I think it is a great opportunity for people who want to learn hands-on. There's a great path, and that's the thing that I think we need to make sure that we're sharing with everybody in Iowa. There is a great path for every Iowan. There is a continuum of education and training available, no matter what way you want to learn and what you're interested in. And again, when I got cut off in my last one, I'm going to use this time to just say this. You help us change that conversation about what are you doing when you graduate. Instead of saying where are you going to college, let's say what is your plan. And let's help everybody understand that there is that whole getting a certificate, doing an apprenticeship, doing an associate's degree, there are so many opportunities that there's something for everybody. And the other thing I love about apprenticeships is for adults, they can earn why they learn. When we talk about trying to get that adult population opportunities, they have bills, they have responsibilities, they can't just not do that and go back to school. So a registered apprenticeship is a fantastic opportunity for them to earn why they learn and get that credential. The other thing about apprenticeship is it's really, I think, more versatile than you think or know maybe. A couple of pieces of information. Over 1,300 occupations are apprenticeable. And I think what we said is that we made that word up in Iowa because it's not really a word. But we have a huge number of apprenticeships in Iowa, and we need to grow them. So I guarantee you, I would about guarantee you that there is a job or that you have at your business that is apprenticeable, and a lot of the work has already been done. So definitely we think of the traditional fields with apprenticeship. It's a lot of our trades, construction, plumbing, heating, electrician, but we are growing apprenticeships in some of our high demand areas, and so you really need to think about this, because we have apprenticeships in IT, we have apprenticeships in healthcare, we have apprenticeships in hospitality. There are apprenticeships in so many different fields that I think we don't typically think about. Now, it's not high demand, but Iowa also has an apprenticeship in winemaking, and I believe there's beekeeping and craft beer delivery. So apprenticeships are coming in all of these fields. So it's definitely something that I want everybody to think about. The thing with apprenticeship is it is an employer-based education and training opportunity. You certainly partner with an education partner to deliver the piece that has to be that kind of classroom learning, but this is an employer strategy. It's run by you as the employer. And so you can just see some of the information that why apprenticeship. One of the things is that I want to share is that, thank you, is if you have employees who are getting near retirement, and they're your ones who know everything and they do this fantastic job, and you think, what am I going to do when they go? A registered apprenticeship is something you might want to consider, because that puts in place that on-the-job training for them in a structured way, so you can bring people up and they can learn from your really knowledgeable employees before they hit retirement. And so definitely consider that. We have also, apprenticeships are great because for some reason, and if you have been out of school for many, many years, and if school wasn't the greatest experience for you, the thought of going back is really scary and very anxiety producing, but a registered apprenticeship is a way to get education and training again that maybe just does it in a little different way. So what is a registered apprenticeship? There are 5 core components, and I'm going to refer you to Bob because if you are interested at all in talking about Bob right here, and he's got cards with him, so I would like you to take them before you leave, and even better yet, set up an appointment with him. If you even want to think about registered apprenticeship, he can help you. Their community college can help. We have lots of people who can help you. And what I've heard employers say over and over again at these is, it was not as hard as I thought it would be. It did not, they did all the paperwork. We just had to meet and go through it. You got to start with the job description, link it to an apprenticeshipable occupation, but you have help. So please consider. So anyway, it's an employer strategy. You have structured on-the-job learning. There's some related technical instruction that you have to do a certain number of hours. I think in general it's 140 for a year. So of that, and that can be done in multiple ways. And then you have it's set. So once they get to this point, their pay goes up. Once they get to this point, their pay goes up. So they can see the rewards that they're going to get for getting this education and training done, plus they're learning on the job. And it results in a national credential that they could take anywhere. We don't want them to take it, but they could take it anywhere. And we had a story at another one of the summits where the employer was like, yep, this guy, we trained him, he did our apprenticeship. He was great, but then he decided he wanted to go to another company, so that's part of the risk, but what happened is he went to that company and said they are not investing in their employees like this company did, and he came back. And so definitely is a risk, but it's still well worth the consideration. So here's what you get as an employer. You get customized training, you get your knowledge increase in your employees, enhanced employee retention, we'll talk about that in a minute. Big focus on safety in this program. So how do we ensure the safety at our workplace? You get a pipeline of qualified workers, and then this is a systematic approach. So it's really set out there. So sometimes if it's kind of like, ooh, I didn't quite get this orientation done this way or this way, it's really structured and set for you and your employees. Strong outcomes. In Iowa, our apprentices average, once they finish, $60,000 in income. And 91%, this is what I think you really want, 91% of completers remain employed at their employer. So 91% of the people who do their registered apprenticeship stay. I think that's huge retention, and it's because they know you're investing in them. And then there are opportunities to earn college credit while doing an apprenticeship, and in a lifetime they make more than their peers. What happens is a lot of times they come out with no debt, no college debt, and they have a credential of value. So again, this is just a really great option. We have great 4-year schools, we have great 2-year schools, we have great apprenticeship opportunities, so we need to continue to grow this one. And then there is funding available. So you have 2 sheets. You have 15B and 15C funding on your in your packet. 15B is $3 million a year, again, appropriated by the legislature to support already running apprenticeship programs. There's a formula. I can connect you with somebody who will help you through all of this. They'll make it as easy as possible. And then 15C was part of the Future Ready Iowa bill the year before, and this was to encourage small to medium-sized apprenticeships to get started. So what it is you start an apprenticeship, you get at least 1 apprentice registered, and then you can apply in January, and you can get up to $25,000 back of what it cost you to start it. And you still have time. You still have time to start a registered apprenticeship and get 1 person in before the end of the year, and you can still apply for that money yet this year. And so I've heard the fastest turnaround that Department of Labor people have worked to get an apprenticeship set up is 72 hours. I would say 6 weeks sometimes, I don't know, that Bob shake, yeah. So this is not a process that takes that long, so just please consider it. You have some resources. There's a website, and any questions? Yes?
What's the difference between pre-apprenticeship and
Okay, so pre-apprenticeship is something that is less formal. It's more preparing the students for what it would take to get them into the apprenticeship program. So for example, with some trades, and there are probably people who can speak better to this than I can, but for some trades there's certain math that they need to do to be able to get into the apprenticeship program. They need to know how to use to read a ruler, and that's what I hear a lot of times is kids don't know how to read a ruler, they don't know how to use certain hand tools and things like that. So a pre-apprenticeship is getting them that training that you've worked with the trade to say this is what they need to get them ready to apply for an apprenticeship. So that's the pre-apprenticeship. Registered apprenticeship in a high school, you need a business partner, because the apprenticeship is, again, employer-based. So a high school, and that's a great question, because a high school can want to do a registered apprenticeship, but if they don't have an employer who will take that apprentice, that's not going to work. So you have to have an employer, and then what that employer needs to do is say, here are the jobs I need, here's the job description, link it to an apprenticeshipable, and then like our business partner, the Department of Labor and Iowa Work staff will help through the whole process, but you've got to have those two things. You have to have a business partner, and in order for a school to get it started. So, anything to add, Bob? Yeah, happy to talk to you more about that though, because we have lots of schools getting interested in this, and I would love even more. So, thanks.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.